Well, hello. I am live again. Um, I have been meaning to make myself a new profile picture because I've been using the same profile picture for years now. Actually, when was it made? Let me have a look. Since 2023, so like 3 years ago now, damn. But yeah, I wanted to make a new one, and I figured I may as well stream whilst I do it. So hello, welcome to the stream. Hope you all having a good week. Hope you had a good Easter and a good weekend in general. I was social. I went out. Yeah, it was a pretty nice weekend. But yeah, I sketched a little head here. Whilst the stream was loading. So I like my previous icon, so I'm probably gonna do the same sort of thing. Just like, you know, a bit more updated kinda. Whoa. Rude. Actually, let me grab my previous profile picture just so I can plonk it next to this one so I can see what I'm like referencing here. Hello, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hello. But yeah, how was your weekend? Did anybody do anything fun and exciting? Does anyone have anything fun and exciting coming up? Yeah, we have a maid dress redeem now. Just a chill weekend. Very good. We love a chill weekend. Continuing the web stuff on the side projects. Very nice, very nice. Prepping for my next con this weekend. Oh, what convention is it? Oh, very cool, very cool. I hope you have a good time at the convention. I've still never been to like an anime con. I hear horror stories. Computer shopping. Oh, that's really fun. I have no idea what I'm looking at when I get a new PC. I just like go to one of those websites where you just pick and choose what you want and they build it. And then they just tell you if it's compatible or not, which makes my life hell of a lot easier because I don't understand it at all. I've heard of anime conventions having to put up posters about people needing to wear deodorant. I feel like furry conventions need that as well. In general, there's just like too many people who are very unaware of their stink. And obviously like you can't control it, but you can, you know, maintain good hygiene. And when I go to conventions, I'm paranoid of being that stinky individual. I have like a little backpack and there's always deodorant in that backpack. And anytime I go to the restroom, I use a little bit of deodorant. Like, I don't know, it's just like common courtesy. I don't want to stink. I don't want to smell other people's stink. I don't want other people to smell my stink, so you know. If there's like one thing that's gotta be like the biggest turn off for me is if somebody has poor hygiene. Like, just shower often, you know, give yourself a nice big scrub-a-dub, and yeah, just wear deodorant, man. There's too many people that I unfortunately know who are convinced that their body is built different and they don't need to wear deodorant, and you just are like, man, no, you stink. And they're like, no, I don't sweat. And I'm like, you're like nose blind to your own stink because you have lived with it for so long. Like, man, if you're listening to this stream right now and you're thinking to yourself, hey, I'm built different, I don't need to wear deodorant, you do. If you can't smell yourself, and you don't wear deodorant, that is so bad. You've become like perpetually stinky to the point that your own nose doesn't acknowledge your stink anymore. Like it's the same with your like your bedroom, your apartment, for instance. You live in it, so you don't smell maybe a funky smell that has been lingering for a few days. As soon as you like step out of your apartment for like, I don't know, few hours, and then you come, you get some fresh air, like some new smells up your nose. You come back and you will smell that funky smell that you couldn't smell before. I get paranoid about it. Whenever I have guests come over, I will air out, like we open all the windows and I buy scented candles. So if anything wasn't fully cleared out by, airing out the apartment, opening all the windows, at least the apartment will smell nice because I have scented candles. So yeah, that's my little 2 cents on the stink situation. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you like my art. Yeah, I was on the Bark podcast quite a while ago now, actually. I was chatting on there about different experiences I've had in the fandom and about how like I often get mistaken for being a boy, and like I'm not, but a lot of people they don't acknowledge that a female character that isn't obviously female, like Pocky's quite an androgynous character, so I don't really feminize her very much. Like I have feminized her a little bit more over the years, because she's a reflection of like me as a person. So like if you like look at artwork of her over the years, you can see like her style changes as I change my style. But like yeah, a lot of people, it's a very like male dominated fandom, so a lot of people will just assume that she's a male character. And so I was just talking about my experiences with that and like people in VR chat, because I have like an androgynous voice. Like I feel like I'm feminine if you acknowledge I'm feminine, but if you didn't know me and you just hear my voice, you might think I'm like an adolescent boy, which happens quite frequently when I have my microphone on in games, which is often why I don't use voice chat in games, because I don't want to be mistaken as a child on my parents' computer trying to play Overwatch or PUBG or whatever it may be. But yeah, that was a fun podcast. I enjoyed my time there. That was good. How's your day been? My day has been very good. I woke up a bit earlier than I was expecting to, because my upstairs neighbors, they're renovating their flat right now, so it's very noisy at the moment. All of the tools, all of the drilling, all of the stuff hitting the floor in the empty apartment. It I got woken up, so but I woke up early. I had a little protein milkshake. I pet my Findus, my cat, and then I did some artwork, and now I'm here. So pretty good day so far, I think. I made pancakes for lunch, like European style pancakes, like little crepes. They're like pretty low on calories, so long as you don't like slather them in, like syrup and shit. I use a bit of lemon and just a little sprinkle of sugar. It's real tasty. But that was good. That was fun. We need more women in the fandom. I agree. Though I will say, like, when I was in the UK, when I lived in the UK fandom is like, there's a lot of women in the UK fandom. In my experience, anyway, like most of the people I know from the UK fandom are women, which like I find funny. I don't know why there's such a high concentration of UK furries that are women. But I you know, I think that's really cool. And hello, welcome to the stream. What do you think of using... Sorry, and like... What do you think of using voice changes for games? I mean, like, you do what you want to do. I don't personally want to use a voice changer. I'd rather just use my own voice. If someone confuses me for being, yeah, like an adolescent boy, like, okay, whatever. Yeah, okay. It's just annoying. But I would rather just use my own voice than use a voice changer. Unless I'm trying to be goofy, maybe, but yeah. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good one. Also, I'm sorry your week hasn't been good, Kiriko. Hopefully it gets better. I keep thinking it's Monday, it's Tuesday. Easter has really confused my little brain. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you liked my red panda. I just keep thinking it's Monday because like Flinks was home yesterday, so on the days when Flinks is like home, I just assume it's a weekend day. But no, it's Tuesday. Is this the real Jinx? I sure hope so. Cause like, that would be a lot of effort for somebody to go to not actually be me. Have like an animation or the emotes, like a VTuber. Like goddamn, and drawing the artwork that I draw at the same time that I draw it would be wild. Props to the commitment to the bit, I guess. You have lots of questions for me. Do feel free to put them in the chat. It gives me something to yap about whilst I'm drawing. Because I am not great at figuring out what to say. I just kind of like start talking about nothing. Oh, thank you so much, Soulless. That's so sweet. We love hoodies. I like... Hoodies are my default. When it comes to drawing, when it comes to choosing an outfit, it's my, you know, safety net, my go-to. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Do big appreciate. But we do love our hoodies. Oh, speaking of hoodies, oh, should I say this now? Do I wait? I will wait for now. All I will say is my patrons know what up. If there's any of my patrons in the chat, you know what's up. Wow. Yeah, you know what's up. Oh, I got a mustache now. Let's go. Yes, go get the pancake. Oh, man. Why couldn't you redeem the maid dress and the mustache at the same time? Fucking furries, man. I hate furries. Do you guys hate furries? Oh, here we go, mustache with the maid dress. That's what I'm talking about. Furries are cringe. Thank you, Kobold the Vec. Thank you. They are cringe. Stinky. Who the hell would want to draw furries for a living? Who would want to spend thousands on fursuits and travel around the world going to conventions? Fucking cringe. Obviously, I'm joking. In case that was unclear. Were you an anti-fur before becoming a furry? No, I wasn't an anti-fur, but I did used to like take the piss out of furries because I just didn't know what they were. And I was like, I don't know, like 14, 15 before I became a furry. So like when like the topic of furries were mentioned, I was like, oh man, what freaks. But I literally knew nothing about them, so I was just like, you know, copying whatever crap my friends in quotations would say. You know, like it was just ignorantly following the popular opinion at the time, right? And then like, yeah, one day I was looking for a cosplay group and I found a furry group and I was like, oh, those suits are actually pretty neat. And yeah, then just kind of, you know, fell in the rabbit hole, as it were, and I made like a little character and I started trying to draw the furries. And then years later, here I am. Don't know how I got here, don't know when it's gonna end. I'm just here. Okay, what do we think of this icon, this new profile picture? So the original one is this little guy down here at the bottom. So it's like the same sort of like energy and I don't want to like change my icon. I like my icon, but I just want to give it a little, you know, shush, make it nice and new, shiny. Because this one's pretty old. This is like an icon that I made when I had I had like changed Pucky's hairstyle a bit, but she's maybe a bit too floofy right here. So I want to give her more of this sort of style that I've been using lately for doing like my more simplified Pucky drawings. But yeah. I love when kids are trying to make fun of furries by barking and then calling furries with... I mean, like, kids are kids. It's whatever. I just really don't like it when it's adults doing it, because adults are scary. You know, like, sometimes when I've been fursuiting in public, it's the adults who are the worst. The kids are kids, you know, like, they're gonna be stupid, they're gonna be like laughing and like snickering behind your back and all that, you know, like pointing, trying to take pictures. Like they do that. But like when it's an adult doing it, when it's an adult who's like saying stuff to you like that are either inappropriate or abusive or whatever you want to call it, like that's scary. That I really don't like. And because yeah, you never know what an adult might do. You don't know what they're going through. Maybe they've had a really bad day and this is just like the thing that puts them over the edge, like, oh, fucking furries, you know. And then you don't know. It scares me, man. I love public suiting, but I'm very wary when I public suit. Like even this weekend, I went to a fur meet and I actually brought my suit with me for once, because I rarely bring my suit to the fur meets, but I did this time. And we were heading back to the bar, which is where like the meet is like hosted in Copenhagen. And as we're heading in, there's like these two kids outside, and the kids are like they're clearly just like taking the piss. They don't know what like furries are, but they're just like, what is that? What are those? You know, like but like Flinks kind of walked into the bar, and as I was going into the bar, one of the kids just full on grabbed the tail of my suit, and I just like turned around and looked at them, and I was like, can you not? And I just had to like gently kind of like tap on the tail with my, because I'm not gonna like touch the kid or like push them away or anything like that, because they're kids, they're, you know, little babies. So I was just like, I just tapped on the tail, like, hey, please don't, and gave them like kind of a high five, and they were like, they were like maybe giving the wrong kind of reaction to the fursuit, but they didn't do any harm. And the only thing that bothered me was, so we went into the bar, we went down to the basement to like de-suit. The kid ran into the bar, ran down to the basement, and as we're taking off his suit, he's like, I knew it! And then he like ran back up. And I was just like, what just happened? Like, this kid just came down, and I'm like, we try so hard not to like break the magic when you public suit, especially around kids, and this kid just ran down to the basement and was like, I knew it! You are people in there! You know, it's so funny. But it was just like, what? Suitors need actual guts. I mean, that's why you have handlers. But in the cases where Blinks and I are suiting together, we kind of like try to handle for each other. But it's, you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. But yeah. Nah, it was nice to suit in public again this weekend, but I think next time I'll bring one of my more inconspicuous fursuits or something. Like not Pocky. I guess so. I'm so afraid of anything happening to Pocky's fursuit because I love it so much. So I'm like, anyone comes near my suit, and I'm like, if you touch it, you better have clean hands. You better not stink. You better be gentle. Like, I have a please don't boop badge, and the amount of people who will actually read it out loud, like, this happens way too often, where I literally am wearing the badge, and it says, do not boop my character's, like, face. And if you don't know what booping is, it's like where you, like, you know, like, you poke the character's nose and you, like, boop, you know, it's like a fun thing. I like to do it to fursuits, but I always ask them. Always. And this is like my friends, and I know my friends are chill with it. But otherwise, I always ask before I touch a fursuit. But anyway, the people will literally read out loud, please don't boop. And then they'll like go, huh, and then they'll go boop and like touch my character. And I'm just like looking at them like, you think this is like me being a bottom? Like, oh no, please don't boop me. No, bitch, it says please do not boop, because my suit cost me lots of monies, and it's a very bright character. Like, it's got a bright green nose and a big white face and yellow fur. It gets dirty so easily. I had that suit like fresh out the box, brand new, and I went to one convention with it, and I came home and the nose was like gray because everybody keeps touching it. And it's like, man, this isn't a joke. I thought it was very clear. And like I have like friends who they don't like to be touched at all when they're in suit, so they specifically have like lanyards, badges, like tons of them, even like harnesses that say please do not pet, please do not hug, please do not touch, stuff like that. And the amount of people who take that as an invitation, like, no man, if someone's going through that much effort to buy accessories for their suit and commission badges and things deliberately that say please don't do something, you better listen, you better read that and be literate enough to understand that when it says please don't, you don't. You and the word bottom in the same sentence is an oxymoron. Nice. Yeah. I could never. I sometimes get a bit of grief in some like other friend groups where, you know, someone sends something and I'm not a very expressive person in text. I did like the bottom text thing, you know, where you like key mash. I did that when I was like 15. I don't do that anymore. And so when someone sends me something that I find funny, I do like XD, or I put lol or lamau, you know, I do like that. But I don't, you know, like, I don't like bottom text, keyboard smash, face palm the keyboard, you know, like I don't do that. But some people, like, because of the way that I text, they go like, oh, you're not really interested in the conversation, you don't enjoy what I send you. And I'm like, no, I do. I don't feel the need to type like 15 emojis and spam text you. I can just appreciate it without typing like, this is the first time I'm touching a keyboard, you know, like, oh, I do the cat face. That's not a bottom thing. That's like, you gotta be so confident in your own being to use the cat face. I use that all the time. I use that with my family. Use the mpreg emoji as a response. I fucking hate the mpreg emoji. Every time I post something in Discord, there's gotta be at least one person who uses the mpreg emoji, and I'm just like, man, okay, sure, buddy. You had a dream that you were in a Helldiver cosplay and someone was annoying to someone fursuiting, and I just headbutted the annoyer. Valid. You need a Charger cosplay. That's, oh my god. I got the best idea. Duo cosplay in the future. I'll be like a Charger. You could be a Helldiver, and I'll just like ram into people and you can save them. That would be so fun. someone's like mildly annoying me and I just go into character and just like bash the shit out of them. Just raw. Okay, I've been yapping so much, right? This like I've been looking, it's like, oh, it's missing something, but it isn't. It's just a little redraw of an icon. Alright, let's hide the old icon for now. And let me begin lining. We love the Anther Charger ladies. We love them. Very cool. I'm going to the gym now as well. Like, I'm getting big and strong, so I'll be able to pull it off. I just wish I was taller. Do you prefer to draw the tail even for portrait pic? Really depends. I could add a little tail. Hang on, let me see how that would look. If it would look good or it'd look like ass. Nah, it's like it doesn't make sense for us. It depends on the picture. Wait, what? Speaking of dreams, was dozing off and had an image pop into my mind of Pocky's face plastered onto a background that looked like it was taken from a screenshot of classic Doom with impact font across the top reading Splomph. What does Splomph even mean? We must recreate this so that we can understand what is a Splomph. Here's a question. In your opinion, as someone who owns a fursuit, is it more worth making your own or commissioning someone for a suit? That is entirely a judgment call. I would love... I used to make fursuits way back when I first joined the fandom. And I would love to make my own fursuits right now. I have all the shit in my basement. I have like a brand new sewing machine. I have like a $200 razor. I have foam. I have fur. I have minky. Glue sticks out the wazoo. I have everything I need. But, you know, fursuit making is hard. And it requires a lot of like knowledge. So it depends, like it can be cheaper to do it yourself, but when you pay a fursuit maker, you're paying for their, you know, experience, like their style, their quality, and I can do a lot of things myself, but my craftsmanship when it comes to creating physical things, I'm not very good at it. So I pay other people to do that for me. Also, thank you so much, Shot Foxy, for the sub with Prime. Very big appreciate. Thank you so much. That being said, I was literally talking with a friend the other night about I do want to get back into doing some fursuit making. Probably not anytime soon, but I would love to look at getting myself like a 3D printer and 3D printing my own head bases and making fursuits off of them. Especially since now we have TPU, which is like a really spongy, breathable fursuit. Like it's like a spongy like 3D print filament things. It's really ideal for fursuit making, and the main part about fursuit making that I sucked at was carving foam. I wasn't very good at it, but I can do 3D modeling. So in the future, when I have maybe a bit more space, I am gonna look into getting myself a 3D printer, and then I might try my hand again at doing some fursuit milking. Oh my god, fursuit making. Jeez. Because I miss doing that stuff. I need to make a new fursuit head bag for Pocky because I kind of ripped it over the weekend. It was really dark in the room where we were changing out of our fursuits, and I couldn't really see, so I was struggling to put Pocky's head back in her bag, and it's a little too tight for the head, so I kind of pulled on it a little bit too rough, and it just split a seam. It's like still usable, but I need to remake it. But yeah. Did you hear about that specially made fursuit fabric? No? My friends, they educated me recently on stretchable fur, which I thought that was really cool, like stretchy fur fabric. They were showing me they use it on like the crotch area of their fursuits because, you know, like when you move your legs a lot, it's you know, you need to have that stretch so that you don't have like the seams tearing or anything. And it looks really cool. I had never seen stretchy fur material before. Thank you. I'm glad you like the maid outfit. I made it myself. Hang on, wait, let me... Because it's a bit like cropped. Hang on. There you go. Now you can see it in all its glory. It's like I didn't really put much effort into rigging it though. I at some point plan on re-rigging my VTuber because I don't like, I like how it turned out, but I think I can improve on it, and it's been a while since I did some live 2D. But yeah. Did someone redeem the maid outfit? Yeah, Fur redeemed it at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, I'm currently remaking my icon because it's been a while. I've used the same icon for like 3 years, so I think it's about time I made a new one. So that's what I'm doing. I'm lucky enough to have a friend who makes fursuits full time and even gets help done last year. Oh, nice! That's really cool. I have lots of fursuit maker friends, and they're all super chill. I have one fursuit maker friend who just made me a new partial tail for Pocky. She wanted to make a pattern, kind of like the red panda tail from Turning Red, if you've seen that film. Actually, let me grab their Etsy real quick. But they wanted to create a new red panda tail pattern, and they didn't want to just make a red panda tail and you know, not use it. So they asked me if I wanted a new tail, and I was like, hell yeah, I want a new tail. And we did a little trade. It was very cool. I don't see it on the shop at the moment, but here is their shop regardless. I'll put it in chat for you guys. Oh, you're already loving the Reagan? Thank you so much. I'm so proud of that avatar. I really love how it turned out. You surprised what survived for so long? But yeah, I got a new tail. I'm very happy with it. But I said I don't think they've posted the pattern yet, but they will at some point. Ask one of your fursuit maker friends to make a fursuit in exchange for exposure. I would never be an asshole like that. I've done a trade for a fursuit. I have a fursuit of 8 that I did as a trade. I made them a VR chat avatar and they made me a head. And I paid them for a tail and paws to go with it. That was pretty cool. Gonna turn my stabilizer up. Want to get these smooth lines. It is a wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my days. Oh. Oh yeah, with my icon, yeah. I honestly, I'm also surprised myself that I've used the same one for so long, but I am happy because it gives like my brand some identity. I am really bad at remembering faces, and it doesn't matter if it's actual faces or if it's like profile pictures, but if you change your profile picture frequently, I'm gonna be like, who are you? You know, I'm terrible with it. I'm not good. But I liked the profile picture I've been using for like this long. It's a nice one. Which is why I don't want to like get rid of it. I just want to remake it. Don't change profile pictures, I'll cry. Have you tried Affinity Software and Drawing? I have no idea what that is, I'm sorry. Sound like what Skylar does sometimes? I don't know who that is. Thank you for the follow. Oh, thank you, Inmotuade. I don't know how to pronounce that, but thank you. I appreciate it. I have saved. Thank you for the reminder. Oh my god, why is my brain... Oh, thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. I hate my brain. My brain does stupid things, like think. I'm glad I'm not the only one who can't pronounce it. I see Mort in your name. I'm just gonna call you Mort from now on. Do you know any good anatomy guides? No, I never really studied anatomy guides. The only anatomy guides I've ever really seen have been on like, you know, the social media and things, like artist guides that they post, like references and things. But I've never really like studied. This is Paint Tool Side that I'm using, yeah. You're too kind, thank you so much. Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. I am doing mighty fine, thanks. How are you doing? Unity is a hybrid software, Photoshop, Illustrator, and Design, and recently gone free to use. Oh, interesting. I literally just haven't heard of it, but sounds cool. This is Paint Tool Side 2. I don't know what, hang on, wait, version 2022 12.1. Are you drawing that? No, that I'm drawing a new version of my profile picture. That's what I'm working on right now. Did you have any other personas besides Pocky before? Oh, good question. I mean, so I didn't have, like, Pocky was my first actual persona. But I had, like, a few furry characters that I had tried to make and work with. But Pocky was the first, like, actual Sona that I made. I actually made her, so I made her in like 2017, I think. But I didn't really use her for like another 3 years. Because I went through a few different characters, and then I went to my first furry convention. And after I got home from that convention, I was like, damn, I want to commission a fursuit. And I was looking around at different fursuit makers, and I was going to commission them for like a completely different design of like another character that I had made. And then suddenly I was like, oh wait, I could commission a fursuit of Pocky. Like, her colors are very cool, it'd be very nice. And even though I hadn't used the character in 3 years, I decided to commission a fursuit of her. Which I have actually, it's like the Pocky V1 fursuit. It's currently in my basement. I need to get it like edited so I can resell it. But yeah, it she was technically, yeah, like my first actual persona. I've had many, I have many characters, and I've had many characters in the past, but she was the first character that I made that I considered a persona. But yeah, she changed a lot over the years as well. Like, her markings have changed, her colors have changed. Like, not completely changed, but you know, she kind of grows with me. So as I was saying earlier, like, as I change as a person, those changes tend to be reflected in her. What OC did you have when you joined my server for? Was it a robot, or am I misremembering? Have you changed to be more orange? I mean, she's not meant to be orange, but she has like more shading on her now. so she has more of an orange appearance, but she's meant to be yellow. Like if you see her fursuit, you're in no doubt that she is yellow. Oh, you didn't have any OC? Okay. How long does it take me to draw a full body character with shitting in the background? Oh, it really depends. But usually it takes me around 6 to 8 hours. It takes longer if I'm trying to be like extra with it and experimental, and then I'm like trying different techniques and trying different rendering and all this stuff. But on average, I would say like a full body piece takes me about 6 to 8 hours. I still am not sure about myself. Like I'm having a little bit of an art style crisis at the moment. I can't decide for myself if I want to do a simpler art style, like try to just have more like free fun with it, or if I want to try to improve my abilities and try to do more like rendering and big scenes and things, like, because if I do it simpler, if I go for like a more simpler style, then I will have an easier time producing more content and being able to experiment a bit more with like backgrounds and things. But if I go for more detail, they take longer, but they look more impressive. I don't know. I am having a bit of like, a crisis about it at the moment. I can't figure out what I want to do. And thank you for the reminder. I will save. Oh, the zigzaggy lines when shading hair, new thing. Yeah, somewhat new. I started doing it a few months back now, I think. How did autocorrect correct Twitter to twat T? That's amazing. I wish my autocorrect was like that. Oh, thank you so much. And welcome to the stream. I'm currently working on a new profile picture. Hello, hello, welcome to the stream, and thank you so much for the follow. How are you doing? Thank you for the sub on YouTube. Do a big appreciate. Thank you. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. What app am I using? I'm using Paint Tool Sci 2. I love my paint tool. I am the... Well, actually, it's do gay be crime, but I am that person, yeah. Hello. We do the gay, we be the crime. I'm currently creating a new profile picture for myself because I've used the same one since 2023. Oh, my cat is sneezing. You okay? Little Bubby, man. Got the allergies. You'll be okay. But yeah, new profile picture. It's been a while since I made a new one. And I will save, indeed. Thank you for the reminder. will there ever be another inspirational quote similar to Do Gay Be Crime? No, but you know what's funny? So when I used to have my sticker club for Patreon, I used to do like inspirational quotes on there, and I think the very first one I did was a quote I said in one of my streams, where it's like, you know, don't eat the yellow snow, only lick it, and that was my inspirational quote for the beginning of that club. I really want to do something like that again, but shipping from Denmark at the moment is ass. I don't know if any of you maybe are familiar with this postal company, but our new national post service is now DAO. And I don't know how DAO is in other countries, but in Denmark, it's about the shittiest postal service you can get. And I hate it. And I hate it so bad. They are trash. They make me so mad because they are awful as a postal company. But that's Denmark's new national post service, where if you are sent a letter, like for example, my parents sent me a Christmas card. They sent me a Christmas card around the 15th of December with expedited shipping. It was meant to arrive within 3 days, and it took 3 months. It was atrocious. Like, I literally only got it last month. It is worse. I hate PostNord, but PostNord is better than DAO. DAO actually is the worst postal company known to man, and why the hell Denmark put a bid in to have it as the national post service to replace PostNord, I'll never understand. It is like, ugh, horrible. I hate them. Almost lost one of your plushies. Oh, I lost a plushie from them. I was meant to receive a plushie from like a makeshift campaign, and it's completely lost, which sucks ass. I hate DAO with a burning passion of rage. I was literally talking to Flinks' sister yesterday about shipping, because she's like, she's also an artist, and she's starting to like ship products to people, and she was asking me for advice on shipping, and I'm like, you're shipping stuff at like the worst time, because like shipping from Denmark is so awful right now. One of the main reasons why I would actually want to move away from Denmark is because ordering things online and shipping products would be so much easier literally anywhere else. It's tragic. Yeah, that's my rant about the postal service over, because I could rant about it for hours. The blur brush is built into the program. I am basically just using default brushes. I think I made a couple custom ones, but I don't really use them. I still just kind of use my my marker pen brushes, my blur, my regular pencil. Still sad about the cameras. Me too, honestly, yeah. I was so excited for those cameras. I'm still happy though. The one camera that Fox brought over to me from you though, I still love that one. It sat on my shelf above my desk. And I love the like aesthetic of that camera. I haven't been able to use it sadly, but I think actually that one's broken, but it looks very cool still. I don't know if it was broken or not, I can't recall, but it sits nicely on the shelf. What are some inspirational orc quotes that you can give us? Yeah, I tried to use the adapter, but it needs to have a chip in it, else my camera's like, nah. Angry camera. Smoke grassy ass. That is words to live by. What about smoke ass eat grass? Is that anything? Does your VTuber have a tail? It did. It didn't look good, so I removed it. I will make it a tail at some point, but I will need to refigure it because I did not like how it looked. Alright, I'll read this quote then. Orcs is never defeated in battle. If we win, we win. If we die fighting, so it don't count. If we runs for it, we don't lose neither, because we can come back for another go. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's quite an inspirational quote. It's like, no matter what, an attempt is a good attempt. And if you don't do it the first time, you can try it again. In summary, that's pretty cool. I like that. Some people do eat grass, like cows eat grass. Cows love grass. I will indeed take a sip, thank you very much. Given the amount of methane in them, a cow could probably also smoke ass. True, true. I remember in school we were learning about global warming and like the you know, and them saying like, you know, one of like a surprisingly big pollutant in the world is actually cows. Cows produce so much methane. They stinky cows. What is that quote, Mars? Oh my goodness. Beautiful. The weather is so nice outside today. It's still a little bit windy, but it's been so windy. The past couple days has been like a storm. So like with me and Flinks, we went on a nice big walk yesterday, and it was just there was so much wind. We were just like, what? It was a challenge. Yeah, I know it's called Storm Dave. It's kind of funny. So my other sister, not mute, but I have another sister. She is getting married in June. Yeah, June. And this weekend, her and her fiance celebrated their, like they had like the stag do and the hen night, the hen party. Um, which was funny because her fiance's name is Dave. So it was like, like Storm Dave is afoot and it's Dave's stag do. So it was pretty like funny. A fun little kawinky dink. Isn't a stag do hen night meant to be the last night of being unmarried, not several months in advance? I don't know, like everybody I know have celebrated their hen night stag do like months in advance. I don't really know why. Maybe just it's easier to plan because there's so much to do for the wedding, so it's nicer to do it, far in advance. And also maybe there's people who are busy around the time of the wedding, they can celebrate the stag night and hen night. I don't know. I think the doing it the night before marriage is like an American thing. But I don't know. I've never been married, surprisingly enough, so no idea. But both of my sisters have done their stag do, hen do, whatever you want to call it. They've done theirs like months in advance for whatever reason. I hope you are enjoying the lo-fi, by the way. I don't know what happened to my old playlist. I couldn't find it, so I found like a different one now. Thank you for the follow. And welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Oh, I have googly eyes now. Let's go. I saved. Thank you very much for the reminder. How do you choose colors for shading? Good question. I fuck around and find out. I don't really have a set method. I just try to choose a color that like complements the color beneath it, kind of. Thank you for the follow. Do you know where to get free footlongs? Yeah, 8 told me of this really cool place. In like a bus station. Very cool. Highly recommend it. Oh, the maid dress is back. Okay. I see how it is. Yeah, my profile picture needs to have that innocent till proven guilty kind of look. So that's what we're going for. It's been so long since you saw me stream. It's been a long time since I've streamed, to be fair. I've just started to try to get myself back into it recently. I get things. I like streaming, but I get a bit intimidated when it comes to drawing on stream. Like I love this. I love chatting with people whilst I work, but I do get a little bit too much in my head sometimes. So yeah. I end up like convincing myself not to stream when I shouldn't be. Where? I do want to be streaming more. So I say that way too often, but I do enjoy it. So I am trying to push myself. Also because like I stopped doing commissions, so I don't really have income at the moment. I have a little bit of passive income through like my avatar bases and things like that. But and my patron, thank you. But otherwise I don't actually have income right now. I'm trying to figure out how to go forward this year. As much as I hate to say, I may end up having to do some commissions, but I don't think I'll be doing the regular monthly openings like I used to. I may just end up doing like more spontaneous openings, trying to do them at different times of day, different times of the month, you know, to try and vary it a little bit more than what I was doing before. But I am otherwise trying to find like alternative ways of getting a bit more like income without having to do commissions, just because like I love doing commissions. I love drawing other people's characters. It's really fun. But I would like to draw like more for myself. But I've been saying that I've had a hard time motivating the past few months. Like, you know, you suddenly have the ability to do what it is that you want to do, and then you're like, oh, now I actually have to do it, kind of thing. And I've had a hard time actually committing to doing anything. Yeah, your character his, I have also wanted to get into doing, but I've had a hard time figuring out what to do for your character here. I wanted to do an Easter your character here of like a bunny suit type thing, but I couldn't sketch out the idea the way I wanted it to look, so I didn't do it. We'll see. We'll see. Hello Viper, welcome to the stream. What I'm doing right now is like rim lighting, if that makes sense. So like just around the edges. Just to lighten the artwork some more. It's not gonna stay this color, I just draw it in a color to see what I'm doing. But you'll understand in a moment when I start editing it. I have no real understanding of light direction. You may notice that on my artwork, and I really couldn't give a shit. I draw what I think looks good. I don't care if it's correct. As long as I think it looks good. That's what matters to me. And of course, like, as long as like my customers think it looks good, that's what matters to me. Sometimes I do try to do like, you know, interesting lighting direction and things, but I don't really understand it. It's very technical. Is that why you say Pocky's yellow? Pocky is yellow. She is yellow. Her shading makes her look orange, but she is yellow. Okay, I want to settle this debate. This is Pocky's ref sheet color. This is Pocky's ref sheet color. This is orange. Now, in the past, someone made a plushie of Pocky in this orange color. I had it on my booth. It was meant to go for sale, and everybody who came by my booth was like, what is this character? And I was like, it's Pocky, and they were like, why is it orange? Pocky is not orange, she is yellow. If a plushie was to be made, like, so Pocky's fursuit is kind of, it's not quite like that. Pocky's fursuit is, no, that's still not quite it. The fur is, yeah, kind of this color. So it's a bit more obviously yellow, but it's still yellow. Like, that is significantly closer than this. Don't get me wrong, she's not like, you know, cartoony sun yellow. She's not like this yellow or anything. But I would argue she's closer to yellow than she is to orange. She's, yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, like, oh, she is undoubtedly yellow, but she is meant to be yellow. So like any merchandise you'll see of her, like her fursuits, like any of that stuff, it's all yellow. It's unmistakably yellow. If I was to get it made as orange, you wouldn't recognize the character. It would look so wrong. But yeah, I hope that's cleared it up for people. My friends bully me about this like all the time, and I'm so bored of it by this point. I can't do the hex codes since Sai doesn't have hex codes, sadly. But yeah, like over the years, I've taken like artistic liberty with Pocky's color palette. Because for example, so here is on any of the plushies, on my fursuit, everything else, like these brown areas, they're actually black. But for artistic purposes, I made them brown because it looks it looks nicer. It brings the character more warmth. The black looked a little bit too dominant, so I changed it to brown. But you know, like I take some liberty with the colors when I draw her because it just appeals better. So I did the same with her fur color. I made it slightly more like orangey yellow so that it looked warmer and didn't look as like, you know, like eye straining. And hello, welcome to the stream, and thank you so much for the follow. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. It's just me having some artistic liberty, but like if ever I get physical items made of my character, like you go yellow or it looks so wrong. If you go orange, it doesn't work. It looks bad. Thank you for the follow. Did you ever do that one color pick test that was going around a couple weeks ago? I don't think I saw that one. Thank you for the follow. And welcome to the stream, all you creatures. I'm currently working on a new profile picture. I've used the same one for very many years now. So I decided it was time to update it. I'm still drawing like the same thing. But I'm just updating it a little bit. So this is what my like current profile picture looks like. It's from 2023, so it's decently old by this point. This one, I'm just creating like a newer version of the same thing, just because I wanted to zhuzh it up a little bit. Make it look nice and pretty. So that's what I'm working on today. I love how your profile pictures consistently have those silly wide eyes. Yeah, I realized like whenever I tried to do a profile picture with normal eyes, I really didn't like it. And I like having like this silly chaotic face, because also like when I post unhinged shit and you see this face attached to it, it just makes it more silly in my eyes. I swear I really like the gremlin kind of energy for it. I just want people to see like, you know, a quote with this profile picture and be like, that's such a creature thing to say, you know, like. It just reminds me of the vacuum cleaner. Yeah, I loved that comic. That was such a good one. I see, that was one thing. I wanted to stop doing commissions and go back to doing silly comics like that again. I haven't done. I did like 2 over Christmas, and I haven't done any since then. It's awful. It's awful. I need to think of some silly shit to do comics about again. How do you decide which outlines to recolor and which to leave black? It's already a judgment call, but usually I leave the outer lines black to give it a bit, you know, to make it a bit more bold. And usually I leave some lines of black to indicate more, like, you know, depth between the pieces. So like, for example, here between the hoodie and the neck, I don't really want them to blend together, so I leave it a bit more black here so that, you know, it's a definitive line where the hoodie and the neck are separated. Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. We love the color blue. It's like top tier color, for sure. Will you have some more big model releases? I mean, I plan to just keep releasing avatar bases, but I don't have any I'm working on at the moment. I did start sketching some concepts for my next avatar base, but I'm not certain about it yet. Thank you for the follow. Well, thank you so much for the follow. Some tips on how to stay motivated to keep drawing. That's a tricky one because at the moment I'm kind of dealing with a similar issue. I started saving a lot of artwork that inspires me. So like anytime I see any artwork, whether it's furry, human, environmental, whatever it may be, anything that inspires me in any capacity, whether it's their colors they use, the shading, the anatomy, the style, whatever it is, I just started saving it, downloading it, or bookmarking it. And when I'm having like a rough day where I can't really motivate, I like to look through those saved images, and usually one of them will spark something in my brain, and I'll go, oh, I should try that today. And I try like maybe a new technique, or I study a certain aspect of their style that I like, and I try to incorporate it into my own sort of, way. But in general, I often use like, you know, other people's content to help inspire me, to help motivate me. It's not easy though. Like I struggle like hell. Like right now I'm still having a bit of an art style crisis. Because I like my artwork a lot, but I think sometimes I'm missing something and I'm just not quite sure what that is. But yeah. Just use references and don't be afraid to be inspired by other people is the best advice that I could really give you. Yeah, I hope that helps just a little bit, if nothing else. I don't know if it made sense, but hello, hello. Yeah, I get that, K9. Getting like demotivated when you look at other people's work, that's definitely it's one of those things I always say to people, like, don't compare yourself to others. I do it all the time. I am just as guilty, and I completely relate to that demotivation when you compare your work to others and you can't see how you can even compare. I totally get that. But one thing that helps me is I've come to appreciate that regardless of where I am with my artistic abilities, regardless of how my art style compares to somebody else's or my use of different techniques, whatever it may be, I've come to accept the fact that what I draw is my own, and there's always going to be people who will appreciate it. Maybe it is myself, maybe it's not even myself. Maybe it's just my friends, maybe it's, you know, like, whoever. But what you create is your own. And so all you can keep doing is just keep pushing yourself to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. Comparing yourself to others doesn't do you any favors. But yeah. Just keep doing you. And especially like in like the age of AI at the moment. At this point, I feel like a lots of people appreciate, you know, genuine artistic talent, regardless of its you know, flash or I don't know what the right word is, like ability, but like I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like, regardless of how high quality or how skilled the artwork is, the fact that people, you know, would still choose to create stuff themselves than have a computer generate it because it's easier. I think that in itself is impressive, and I think a lot of people will appreciate that regardless. Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. I am good, thanks. How you doing? Are there any way to learn drawing effectively? Yeah, just draw. Literally, just keep drawing. One thing that I really recommend is if you want to get started on drawing, start by drawing simple shapes. I start every single one of my drawings with a circle. Every single one of my drawings starts with a circle. It doesn't have to be a good circle, but, you know, I build up from there. And I think, like, you can learn a lot about, like, using different shapes and learning perspective if you play with shapes. I like to build all of my artworks out. Like, I build them up with shapes. And I found that was, like, very useful for, like, especially when I first started using a drawing pad. I originally used to draw with a mouse, but I couldn't do much with a mouse. My brother bought me, my parents bought me a drawing pad, which I still use now. And the first thing I did, because I was trying to learn the tablet, was I would just draw circles. I would draw a lot of circles, and that really helped me to get accustomed. One thing you can also do is you can try tracing over images to help you understand their shapes. I don't recommend, like, unless you have permission from the artist, but if you do choose to learn through tracing others' art, I would recommend keeping that private and only using it for learning purposes. But tracing is something that I know a lot of other artists have said has helped them understanding like, you know, line art and the shapes, the anatomy. So you can try that. There are also, like, plenty of tools online. Like, you can get, like, websites and some art programs have, like, 3D models that you can pose and you can draw over them. But it depends on, like, also what you want to draw, because if you want to draw, like, characters and things, then obviously, yeah, like, using, like, the wooden art dolls and stuff like that is going to be useful. But if you want to draw, like, cityscapes and things, then I would say, like, you know, reference photos of landscapes and things. But yeah, it's not really, like, a hack to learning how to draw fast. I would say just keep doing it. Rendering and color practice, I have, like, no advice for that. I don't know what I'm doing. my use of color is just me throwing colors down and thinking that looks good or that doesn't look good. I have no understanding of color theory. I have no understanding of why something looks good. I just think it looks good. That's what I do. But there are color theory wheels that can help you understand what colors are complementary, what colors are like, you know, opposing. You know, and like I was saying earlier, like it doesn't hurt to look at other artists' work and, you know, like study their use of color. Color pick from an artist's work that you like and see if you can understand it and interpret it in your own way, maybe. There are plenty of artists that I follow that I love their use of color and I don't understand it, but I am just enamored by it. Yeah, literally my process when it comes to anything has been fuck around and find out. So when it comes to like actually giving advice, I suck at advice because I don't have any like, I don't have like, oh, here is like a document that I used and this is why I am where I am right now. Like I just fuck around and find out. If you look at my artwork over the years, my style has changed drastically and it changes frequently still. So yeah, I'm a firm believer in the fuck around and find out method. Hello, welcome to the stream. And thank you so much for the follow, by the way. I've saved, thank you very much. I'm gonna pull down the blind really quick because the sun is now on my monitor and I can't see. There we go, I'm back. Yeah, I couldn't, like, the sun is coming in through the window and I couldn't see all of my layers over here. So I was, like, squinting, like, what am I looking at here? Oh, thank you, Citrus. I'm so glad you like it. I worked pretty hard on it. I'm gonna have to re-rig it at some point soon because I didn't do the best job on it. I hadn't used Live 2D in a few years, so I was a bit rusty, but I really like the style and I am very happy with how like reactive it is. So it makes me really happy when people say they like it. I worked very hard on it. Do you use a Human? I don't actually. I use a Wacom Intuos. It's just a little drawing pad. I've been using this one for like 8 years. I think it's 8 years now. My parents bought it for me one Christmas, and it's still going strong. I actually got given a I actually got given an Intuos Pro whilst I was at NFC. But I'm keeping it as a backup because I've used this tablet for so many years now that I'm like, I'm gonna use this one until it absolutely gives up on me. It's been with me throughout my entire artistic career, so I don't want to leave it until I absolutely have to. And even then, I think when it breaks, I'm gonna get it like framed or something because it means so much to me. Like this little drawing pad has served me so well over the years. No worries, Lilium. Sorry. But welcome to the stream. I am like pretty active on social media, so it's possible maybe I've posted something somewhere and you've seen one of my posts. I think like that is one thing that one of the main reasons that I like to keep using this drawing pad. Like, I could upgrade. I could buy a big expensive screen tablet like my sister has. I could spend a lot of money quite easily on my setup. But I feel like it's comforting for me, and I think maybe hopefully for others, to know that like you don't need to spend lots of money on your art setup to draw. You know, you don't. I mean, you can draw with just a piece of paper and a pencil. I drew on paper for many years. And then when I finished school, I started trying to dabble into digital art, and my parents wanted to help me. They bought me this little drawing pad. It costs, I think, $30 to $60. I don't remember quite how much it costs, but for a drawing pad, it's not too bad, and it's a good quality one. You can get cheaper ones. You don't have to go for an Intuos, but you don't need to buy expensive equipment to have, like, to make a career out of it, basically. Oh, is it 80 now? Damn, it was way cheaper in the beginning. Like, I can't remember. I think it was either 30 or 40 when my parents bought me it. It was not an expensive tablet. But mine is so old now. It has like this really smooth circle in the center of it. My little ring of death, where I am always drawing in the same spot. Which is like, yeah, it's just funny to me. I think I recognize your name for VRChat avatars. Oh yeah, I make lots of VRChat avatar bases. If you see any of the avatars that are like jinxed, whatever, like jinxed bunny, jinxed dog, jinxed dragon was my most recent avatar. They are all mine. I made those. Okay, what else do I need to do to this creature? Man, it's crazy. That's so crazy. I didn't think anything badly of my current profile picture until I redrew it. This same thing happened with my VTuber. My last VTuber I made like a couple years ago now, and I still liked it all the way up until I made a new one. And then I was like, oh, it looks old now. It actually looks old to me now. But my profile picture, like, is the same thing. It didn't really look old to me at all until I redrew it, and I'm like, oh yeah, my style changed since I drew that. Huh. Damn, that's pretty funny. All right. I'm trying to think of like if there's anything else I want to. I feel like it's missing some texture. That's what I feel like it's missing. Let me grab my. This is like one of the few custom pens I have. Where is it? My line pen. Line pen. There it is. I made this like line pen so that I could add some texture to things. Just to make it a little bit more interesting, basically. Yeah, it's kind of like cross-hatching. Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. No, that's not it. Will you animate someday? I have done animation in the past, but I'm not very proficient in it. I may do animation again, but it's not currently in my plans to do it. I'm not very good at it. I don't have a lot of patience when it comes to my work, so yeah, I would love to. I would love to be like one of those artists who animate. But as much as I would love to, I am really just not good at it. And hello, I'm good, thanks. How are you? I feel like adding like just these lines to the piece have added so much more like texture and character to the artwork. At least in my opinion. Like, it just, I don't know, it gives it a completely different like vibe to me. I like it. I like it a lot. What do you guys think? Yeah, it kind of like adds like a slight fuzz to it as well. Which is like one of those pieces where when you actually look closer, you see like all these different textures. What about 3D animation? I would be more likely to get into 3D animation. I briefly tried it last year, but again, I don't really have much patience for it. So maybe one day. What a glow up. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, that looked like teeth. Wait, if I did it in white. Oh, that makes me feel ew. Don't like that. Gross. Oh, that made me feel things I did not wish to feel. Okay. Yeah, this kind of a squash and stretch sequence. Yeah, that's quite funny. Sorry to hear that, Valerie. I did literally talk about this just recently on the stream, but like there's not really one way to learn how to draw. But I would advise, like, I don't really know how best you learn, obviously, but like for me it was drawing simple shapes. Drawing like simple shapes really helped me to be able to, like, you know, build characters, build bodies, you know. Same sort of thing in Blender too, actually. I use, like, I box sculpt in Blender, so I have like a drawing reference that I made, but I use the box sculpting method. So I have a cube and I extrude the cube and I smush up the cube and I remove parts of the cube and I just keep messing with it until it looks like I want it to look, kind of. But yeah, unfortunately you do gotta be patient with the process. I always say, especially when I do my 3D modeling, I am very much trust the process because it looks awful for so much of it. But eventually it will start to look right. Yeah, you gotta do it out of love for sure. If you put too much pressure on yourself for the end result, you're gonna have a really hard time, that's for sure. Just do your best and try to have fun with it. That's the best advice I can give. I'm sorry that it's very, like, broad advice, but like there is no one way to learn and everybody learns at their own pace. So I feel like it's really important to not put too much pressure on yourself. And, you know, like I was saying earlier, I have like folders on my PC now full of art inspiration. Anytime I come across a piece of artwork that I am inspired by in any capacity, maybe I like the colors that they use, the line art style, textures, details, anatomy, whatever it is. If there's something about the artwork that I find intrigues me and tickles my little brain, I save it, I bookmark it, I download it. One of the three, you know, and when I am struggling or when I feel uninspired, I will look through all of those saved artworks and I will maybe hone in on one thing that I really like about one of them, and I will try to incorporate that into the next piece that I do. I finished a piece earlier this morning, and I was trying to play around with some different textures and different lighting. Not something I think I'll do much again, but I'm very happy with the outcome, and it was fun, and it you know, pushed me a little bit out of comfort zone, but yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Oh, welcome to the stream, Candy Apple. And you two, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but welcome both of you. And yes, I don't stream incredibly often. I'm trying to get back into streaming, she says, for like the 15th time. But yeah, I don't stream too often. I'm trying to get back into it. So I recently made myself a new VTuber, and yeah, I made a bunch of new emojis recently as well, and I'm trying to convince my lazy ass to stop procrastinating and actually stream, because I want to stream, which is the stupid thing, but I I just don't for some reason. So, but I really enjoy streaming because then I get to like chat and engage with my community. I'm not very good at engaging with my community. I get a bit like overwhelmed by like lots of messages and comments and things. I always try to like comments on my post. I do read all of them. And like in my Discord server, I used to be more active in it, but over the years I've become very overwhelmed by the sheer amount of activity. So I kind of, you know, distance myself a little bit. But with streaming, it's really easy for me to engage with my community. I can chat to you guys, I can answer questions, talk about my experiences, and I like it. I want to do it more. I procrastinate. It's my biggest problem, I think. So is it normal to not enjoy it because of a lack of skill? So most of the time it's a chore focusing on a bunch of sketches and hard work. Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of people try drawing, try any form of art, but because they can't become an expert in it in a day, they abandon it, they get bored, they don't do it anymore. I'm guilty of that. I would really love to be a really talented fursuit maker. And it was like the year before last, I decided to get into it again, and I started making a head base, and the head base didn't go like perfectly. So I abandoned it. I got bored of it. I didn't enjoy it because I was not good at it. You know, like it happens. And the only reason that I've gotten to where I have with my digital art is because I enjoy doing it, and I just kept being persistent enough to keep trying to improve. You know, I've gotten feedback over the years, and I acknowledge, you know, where I make mistakes and where I have room for improvement, and I try to improve. So, but yeah, it's very much a normal reaction. Art block is definitely a problem for me. I don't get it now as bad as I used to. There was one period of time where I really just couldn't draw for like 6 months. I really just couldn't draw anything. But I don't get it so bad anymore. Usually it's like a couple of days or maybe a week where I can't commit to a drawing. I can't get the idea out of my brain, or I can't come up with an idea that I like enough, so I end up just like not drawing anything and procrastinating a bunch. But again, what I do is I tend to try to refer back to the artwork that inspires me. I scroll around on like Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, and I look for anything that can inspire me, or I'll ask like my friends or my partner, you know, like, hey, can you give me an idea to draw? And a lot of the time I'm really picky, and I'll be like, nah, doesn't really hit the spot. It's not inspiring me. You know, I will be like a bitch about it because I ask people for ideas, they give them to me, and I'm like, nah, that's not what I'm looking for, you know. But I try like lots of different things. Also, like just going outside, go on a walk, clear your head, just listen to like some music maybe, or just listen to the outside world if you want to. Just go out and just be alone with your thoughts and literally touch grass, yeah. And maybe you'll be walking and you'll see something and go, huh, I could draw that. I could try that. I could do this, you know, whatever it may be. But yeah, it's definitely a common issue when it comes to any form of creative process. Whether you're drawing, whether you're composing, whether you're sculpting, writing, whatever, even coding as well. like any form of expression, you have those moments where you hit like a mental block and you can't seem to motivate yourself. It's very normal. It happens to everybody. And everybody has their own ways of dealing with it, but these are the ways that I deal with mine. Is it possible to get answers written in answers to interesting things in a written format, like in Discord? Maybe there's a separate channel for questions. I used to have a Q&A channel. Sadly, people kept kind of abusing it and just putting stupid shit in there, so I ended up removing it. But I do have a comments channel in my Discord server, and you can pop them in there, and I'll try to respond to them when I get the chance. And hello, welcome to the stream. And no worries, Candy. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I will see you around. Oh, you saw me at NFC? Hell yeah. I liked NFC this year. It's really good. I mean, it was good last year as well. But it was good this year. I look forward to the next one. Oh, big stretch. Is it like free to DM you in main chat? I mean, I'm not incredibly active in my server. I don't really like DMs, so I wouldn't recommend DMing me. But if you put comment, like if you have something you want me to read, if you put it in the comments channel of my server, I check it whenever I see notification. Like I read all the channels, but sometimes I skip a lot of messages if there's been a lot of activity. But if it's in the comments channel, I do read them, and I try my best to respond, so. I do try. No, sorry, I meant in my Discord server. My Discord server. There's a channel in my Discord server called like comments and ideas, and that's the channel I meant. I'm sorry. Oh, you can ask questions in the chat here, I'll answer them, but for the VTuber program that I use, for the tracking and everything, like, you know, tracking my face and head and everything, I use VTube Studio. But for the actual building of my avatar, I used Live 2D. And I hate Live 2D. Live 2D is a great program, very adaptable. But man, it's so tedious to use, and I hate using it, but it is a really good program. Alright. I don't know what to do now. I will take a sip. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, I'm thinking I need to adjust the location a little bit. There we go. Just so that when I have it as a profile picture, it doesn't look too cropped off or anything. Because I realized, oh, maybe the head's a bit too high up. There we go. And thank you so much for the follow. And I need to save a version without the background. Alright. Okay, well I think that's about all I have for streaming today. Yeah. If you were to do headshot art pieces, what is the easiest creature to do? Depends entirely on the design, but I would say a fox, just because it's like so generic, it's easy to draw for me. But yeah, depends entirely on the design. But yeah, I think I'm probably gonna end my stream just about here because I finished the icon. That's all I had planned for today. And I've been streaming for like 3 hours, so I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining the stream today, by the way. You guys have been like really active in the chat, and it's been a lot of fun to like chat about all kinds of different things, just me yapping and drawing this new profile picture, which you'll soon see me using everywhere. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a very good rest of your day, good start to the week, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.